and welcome to another episode of Todd Talks. And Todd Talks, people listen. Hopefully. So, it is reaction time. And wait, what are we reacting to, you ask? Well, the video title couldn't quite tell you. It's the Glacius versus Sub-Zero match, or Sub-Zero versus Glacius match from a death battle. And I was right. Yeah. Now, again, if you saw my preview video, I was actually like really worried about this one because it's not that I didn't think that Sub-Zero couldn't win. I gave legitimate reasons why, and I picked the same logic that Death Battle did, especially with the whole, getting in close, being able to dodge his attacks, Glacius' attacks, and everything. But you just never know. I mean, Glacius is an alien. I wasn't sure about the properties of ice, of his armor. They even said, blue ice, which is the hardest form of ice, could take up to 49,000 pounds of force. That's impressive. And you obviously don't know everything about the characters. If you watch the latest Death Battle cast, you'll hear that Nick, who was the writer for the episode, actually struggled himself with trying to make this episode because they had to quantify a lot of things for Glacius, which weren't overtly obvious like they were for Sub-Zero because of the movies, the shows, the games, the comics. His feats were a lot easier to quantify, and by the time they were done, making sense of what Glacius could do, relatively, Sub-Zero just edged him out. And so, I felt confident in my pick, but I would have been totally fine if I had missed that one. And makes me happy because again, now I only have one loss, and that's one that I totally take ownership for because I should have said Venom and not Bane. That's just gonna haunt me for the rest of the season, especially if I don't lose another match. But as for aesthetics, it was a good match. I liked how they used the dialogue of Sub-Zero, and they really did use the motions of Sub-Zero very well, in my opinion, from his sliding on ice to dodging attacks, where he beats the ice hail, the spiked ice hail. I thought that was like one of the coolest spots in the match because it just was very well done. And but they gave Glacius a good chance too. They showed some of his abilities the ability to make puddles, to make the hail, to do the uppercuts, and obviously to just envelop the opponent in ice. Like, one of my favorite shots was them doing the punches, and Sub-Zero loses his hand. I'm like, oh my gosh, are they gonna is he gonna lose? And then you see him transform to ice before he gets enveloped. I'm like, no, he's fine. And then sure enough, scary there. That was really cool and very true to who Sub-Zero is. It was amazing listening to some of their feats because, like, Sub-Zero. Okay, I gotta talk about this. The Test Your Might mini game, that's been called into controversy a lot, and I kind of noted that myself in the Sonya Blade Cammy White fight, which I didn't like at all. But they also used the whole, she can crack titanium, and so can Sub-Zero. When they look at that game, that mini game, they see it in one of two ways. Yes, everyone can do it. Everyone in the Mortal Kombat game can crack that titanium, but they don't use it as an absolute. They only show that to give you a visual of like a little quantifiable entity, like how strong is it. Well, they can crack titanium, and that's just like the minimum of what they can do. Like, when they researched Sub-Zero, they saw that he showed feats that were equal to breaking titanium, but this was the one that visually, would be the easiest to digest. It's like, oh, he can crack titanium, of course he. And again, it's like, well, and obviously since he can break titanium, he could break ice. But they said in the last Death Battle cast, they didn't just say, oh yeah, well, they can crack titanium in a mini game. That clearly shows their power. No, they backed it up with research, and Sub-Zero throughout the games and comics proved that he could, break titanium in other instances, or showed feats equal to breaking titanium. So I know there's been a lot of people not complaining, but wondering why they keep using that, because that's how the second fight they've done with Cammy. That shows that mini game, not the gameplay, the mini game. So I was there with you because I was wanting that myself. So I'm really glad I watched that Death Battle cast before making this video. But like Sub-Zero can dodge missiles. That was pretty cool. Anything that deals with his teleportation was awesome. You know, I really liked that. And he's beating some really powerful characters. And I didn't know that this Sub-Zero like consistently beat Scorpion. I didn't know that. Again, I don't play Mortal Kombat as much as I probably should. So, you know, that was pretty cool to learn. But overall, you know, it was a nice 2D fight. I really want them to do a 3D Mortal Kombat fight. And there are still some characters, you know, that they could use. You know, Johnny Cage is still out there. Liu Kang is still out there. I just want one 3D Mortal Kombat fight. I mean, I just want one. I think it would look so cool. So, yeah. But next is one that I honestly not only, you know, didn't see coming, I didn't even know it was requested. You know, like Sub-Zero Glacius, I can understand that. Natsu Versace, I can understand. Megalord Voltron, I can understand that. Being Venom, I can understand that. This one was way out of nowhere for me. And it's Android 18 from Dragon Ball Z versus Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Now, I've already seen some people say, like, this is totally mismatched. And I kind of agree in a way. But I understand why they're doing this fight. You know, to quote a Cammy Sony Blade, this is the blonde bombshells. You know, the powerhouses. They are easily the most popular, or two of the most popular female characters in their respective universes. Especially recently with Captain Marvel, she really boomed into popularity when she took the new mantle, mainstream popularity, I should say. And this is definitely gonna be a 3D fight, and I am very excited for this. You know, this will actually only be the second 3D Dragon Ball fight, because of Goku. I mean, I count Goku as one. You know, he made 2 appearances, but that's only one. And for Marvel, let's see, Wolverine and Hulk. So that's 3. So I guess you could say 3 and 3. But yeah, this is gonna be good. I'm looking forward to this. I will definitely have to do my research, but yeah, I'm very interested in this. So with that, I am ending this 49th episode of Todd Talk. Did you pick right? Did you pick right, did you pick right that Sub-Zero would be Glacius? Who do you got in Android 18 versus Captain Marvel? Let me know, and we'll talk about it in the next episode. So, thank you for watching. If you made this far, I know you were listening, and I will see you around.